In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Second half of a doubleheader. First game between the men's teams from these two schools was a tight one. The SPU Falcons came out on the winning end by a count of 64-60. This one not likely to go SPU's way, but you never know. That's why they play the games. Seattle Pacific coming in 6-14 overall, 0-7 in GNAC play, and Alaska Anchorage up to number 24 in one of the polls this week. Still just outside the top 25 in the other one, but they are 16-2 overall. They are 7-0 in GNAC play, and they are coached by Ryan McCarthy. He's in his 13th season at the helm of the Seawolf program. He wins about 80% of his games. And multiple-time GNAC Coach of the Year award winner. For the Falcons, Karen Byers is the head coach on an interim basis, and she took over for Mike Simonson. She was an assistant on his staff. Mike Simonson left, I believe, for the Biola job fairly late in the off-season. But Karen Byers kind of putting her own stamp on the SPU program. They have kind of played a lot more of a up-and-down style, but hasn't produced a ton of results. They looked good at the end of December. They actually took down, they won 4 straight at the end of December, and 3 of those were against Division II opponents. Pacific Lutheran was a D3, but Stanislaus State, Westminster, and Metro State, they beat all of those teams. But so far in January, 5 straight losses for the Falcons. The Seawolves, as I mentioned, 7-0 in GNAC play. Their last loss, they lost to Troy they lost to Hawaii Pacific in December. We are underway here, and already the Seawolves in front on a bucket by Jasa Gamble, senior out of San Bruno, California. And the Falcons will deal with that trademark full court press. Here's Lane Kearns getting down the lane and couldn't get the shot to go. And the rebound comes down to Tori Hollingshead for the Seawolves. And this will be Amelia Long into the front court, being guarded by Hunter Buren. Buren has over 25 points in her last 3 straight games, and they're going to need more of that tonight as the 3 goes up, and the Seawolves get a couple of offensive rebounds, and Hollingshead puts it back up and in, and it's 4-0 in favor of Alaska Anchorage. Here's Buren across midcourt, and did they call a 10-second? They did. It took the Falcons too long to get the ball across the timeline, and that's why they were referred to the timeline. They have a limited amount of time to get it across, and they did not get it across in time, and so the Seawolves force a turnover. Seawolves force almost 28 turnovers a game, which is just outlandish. Foul called here on Lane Kearns. Meant to get to the starting lineups here, but didn't have a ton of time, as we did not have the national anthem again. We just got straight to the lineups, and we're starting this game a little late as well, as the men's game went over a little bit. Ashlyn Reen at the free throw line, a freshman out of Orangiora, New Zealand, and she knocks in the first free throw. Mentioned Amelia Long. She's a senior out of Port Angeles, Washington. Went to Cal Poly Humboldt, transferred from Cal Poly Humboldt, I should say, as Reen makes both free throws. Jasa Gamble, a senior out of San Bruno, California. Ashlyn Reen, who just knocked down the 2 free throws, a freshman from Rangiora, New Zealand. Elena Mack, a junior from King Cove, Alaska. Here's Lola Weatherspoon putting up the shot, and it's off the back iron, no good. Tori Hollingshead, a senior out of Orem, Utah. And this, pulling up in the lane, is Amelia Long, and she puts it in, and less than a minute and a half into this one, the Seawolves already out to an 8-0 lead, and Karen Byers wants an early timeout, and she will take one. We will go ahead and step aside here on, well, let's keep it here, so I can give you the Falcons lineup. I'm not obligated to take a break every time there's a full timeout. Grace Leisure, a sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. Lola Weatherspoon, a senior out of Camas, Washington, just across the river from Portland. Hunter Buren, a 5th-year player out of Mukilteo, Washington. I mentioned she has been on a scoring tear lately. Lane Kearns, a sophomore out of Hamilton, Montana. And Madison Rubino, a junior out of Snohomish, Washington. Rubino is filling in for Skylar Berry, who is on crutches, and don't know exactly what the extent of the injury is to Skylar Berry, but she's on crutches. They have to assume she's probably not going to be back this season, but we'll see. This one already 8-0 in favor of Anchorage here, just with 8:33 to go in the first quarter. Ryan McCarthy in his trademark black hoodie with the green and gold trim, going with his team's colors, as Kearns gets fouled coming across midcourt by Jasa Gamble. And that is the first foul on the Seawolves. Each team with 1 team foul here in the first quarter. Here's Leisure getting to the free throw line, getting it to Kearns. And now Leisure has it knocked away, and that's Amelia Long taking it all the way to the other end and lays it up and in. And the Seawolves lead it 10-0, trying to put the Falcons away early. Here's Buren with the floater in the lane, couldn't get it to go. And ripped out of there. Long, back the other way. Here's Amelia Long, finds a cutter coming down the lane. That's Elena Mack, and she puts it in for 2. And it's a 12-0 lead. And this one getting away from the Falcons in a hurry. Leisure finds Rubino. Rubino gets to the bucket, couldn't get it to go. And the Seawolves another rebound. Here's Mack. Gets it to Gamble. And now she'll get it back to Mack. And the Seawolves will set up a possession in the half court. Long stops and pops from the elbow and couldn't get it to go. Leisure with the rebound. Falcons back the other way. Here's Lane Kearns. And she will get it back out to Grace Leisure. Kearns dishes to Weatherspoon, and it's knocked away. Beeren comes up with it, though, and she's going to stop and pop from the free throw line, and that one rattles home. And the Falcons are on the board. It is 12-2. Seawolves the other way, and Weatherspoon comes away with the steal. And she comes back the other way, finds Beeren cutting to the bucket, lays it up and in. And the Falcons trying to... the Seawolves are going to be better at playing an up-and-down game, but the Falcons are trying to get some of that going on their end as well. As this one into Hollingshead, and she lays it up and in. And it's a 10-point lead for Alaska Anchorage. Here's Beeren across midcourt. Falcons are going to have Alaska Fairbanks in here on Saturday. That'll be a 2 p.m. tip-off as Lane Kearns gets down the lane and puts it up and in. And Ryan McCarthy not real happy as he's got some words for his team. It is 14-6. Seawolves up by 8. And this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here as McCarthy getting ready to sub in a few players. And we will see them on the floor after the timeout. 14-6, your score at this point here with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. And so far, the Seawolves shooting it 67%, Falcons at 43%. And the Seawolves have out-rebounded the Falcons 6-1. They have a couple of offensive rebounds as part of their 6. And they have possession. Amelia Long gets it across to Jasper Evans, who just checked in. As they also have Kinsey Sirowich on the floor, and Weatherspoon comes away with it. And here come the Falcons the other way. Also, Janiyah Alexander on the floor, as that is Amelia Bishop getting down low and putting it up and in. And off comes the hoodie for Ryan McCarthy. 14-8 your score. He's still got the long sleeve top. There's Bishop with the blocked shot on Sirowich. And the Falcons trying to fight their way back into this one as we get a whistle and a foul, and we're going the other way here. As Sirowich will inbound to Amelia Long. Foul called on Grace Leisure a moment ago. This one into Sirowich, into the corner. Here's Alexander driving, gets it to her teammate Reen, and Reen had that one disrupted a bit by Bishop. And now Weatherspoon can't handle it. Evans comes away with it. And here come the Seawolves back the other way. Evans all the way to the bucket and hit the bottom of the rim. I think Bishop may have gotten a piece of that one too, but Bishop is also going to be called for a foul. That'll send Jazz Evans to the free throw line. She's a senior out of Shorewood, Illinois. She's been on this Seawolves roster for a few years now. As Hollingshead is back in for Alaska Anchorage. And Evans knocks down the free throw. Jazz Evans off the bench, averaging almost 11 points a game, 10.8. And she is a 72% free throw shooter and gets both free throws to go here. Here is Haley Ota, and Leisure can't handle it. It's out of bounds. Back to the Seawolves. Ryan McCarthy is intense. As here is Amelia Long. Hollingshead gets it in to Sirowich, and the Falcons block the shot, but the Seawolves still come away with possession. Here's Evans, a three from the corner, and that one is short. Rebound, though. Another offensive board for Sirowich. And here's Alexander with the floater in the lane. She puts it in. And it's back out to a 10-point lead for Anchorage. Buren got it to Weatherspoon. She was trying to get it to Bishop. And the Seawolves create another turnover. Evans pulls up a little too strong off the glass. There's Alexander to collect the rebound, and she misses the shot. And Ota ends up with it for SPU. Falcons back the other way, 3:30 to play in the first quarter. Both teams with subs waiting at the scorer's table, and a blocked shot by Evans. And she's back the other way. Out in front for Long, and Amelia Long puts it up and in. And it is 20-8. Amelia Long now with 6 points in the game. Buren behind her back, gets across midcourt. And now Weatherspoon will get it to Ota, back to Weatherspoon, cuts to the bucket, misses the shot. Bishop is there on the other side of the glass for the putback. And the Falcons now with 4 from Amelia Bishop, they are now back within 10, 20-10. Here's Jazz Evans from the corner. A three is good. And the Seawolves take a 13-point lead. Evans with 5 off the bench. Under 2:30 to play in the first quarter. And this is going to be a fast-paced game here. As we get a whistle. Multiple subs for both teams. Falcons with Kearns, Grace Turley, Grace Leisure, Madison Rubino, and Amelia Bishop on the floor. And the Seawolves with Jasa Gamble, Jazz Evans, Ashlyn Reen, Elena Mack, and Tori Hollingshead on the floor for them. Here's Turley pulling up from just outside the free throw line, and she banks it home. As Turley, I don't think she was trying to do that, but she goes glass. And it's 23-12 now. Seawolves with the lead. Evans getting it to Reen, driving down the lane. She has to kick it out. Gets it to Gamble, and now Evans back out on top with it. Evans drives, pulls up, and puts it in. Jazz Evans already 7 points in the game for Alaska Anchorage. And here come the Falcons trailing by 13. And Turley loses it out of bounds. As you see the Seawolves with mayhem on the back of the jerseys, and that is the style of play that Ryan McCarthy likes to facilitate. They play a full court press, and they force a ton of turnovers. And we'll take a look here in a moment at how many they have forced here in the first quarter. This is Ashlyn Reen putting it up and in off the glass. And the Seawolves with a 15-point lead. Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter. And the Falcons able to beat the press. Lane Kearns gets to the bucket and draws the foul. And she'll be at the free throw line. As the foul called on Jasa Gamble, that's her second. So she'll come back to the bench. Turley comes out. Janiyah Alexander coming back on for Anchorage. And Hunter Buren back on for SPU. Kearns knocks down the first free throw. And the second one is good for her as well. Kern's averaging 10.2 points a game, 85% from the free throw line, which is as good as anybody on the Falcons. They have a couple of players that are shooting 86% that have shot fewer free throws. As here is Elena Mack from the corner, and that one is off the mark. But the Seawolves with the offensive rebound. Here is Evans, and she leaves it short. And the Falcons will take the rebound this time. Kearns going behind her back to get out of the backcourt. Feeds it through to Biren, and she pulls up in the lane and rattles that one in. And that'll make it an 11-point game. Hunter Biren with a good-looking floater in the lane. Shot clock is off, and the Seawolves can run out the rest of the first quarter, except that Kearns commits a foul with 12.3 left. That is that's her second. It's the fourth team foul on the Falcons. So they had one to give. Next one would put the Seawolves in the bonus if the Falcons do commit a foul in the next few seconds. Here's Hollingshead, and they do. Bishop commits the foul with 3.5 left. No, they're going to say that Hollingshead backed into Bishop and commits the offensive foul. So the Falcons get the ball back, and Biren can't get a shot off in time. But it is 27-16. Anchorage with the lead after one quarter of play. And we'll step aside here on the SPU webcast. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SB webcast. Both teams shooting north of 50% in the first quarter. Falcons actually shoot 58% in that quarter. The Seawolves 52%. Falcons did not attempt a three-pointer. The Seawolves were 1 for 4 from distance. And both teams perfect from the free throw line, but the Seawolves have out-rebounded the Falcons 10-5. And the Falcons have already turned it over 8 times in the game. Seawolves have turned it over 4 times. So they haven't played the cleanest game either, but Amelia Bishop turns around and puts it up and in. He'll take 4 free throws per quarter. As there is Evans getting to the bucket, and she already has 9 points off the bench as Biren loses it out of bounds. And was it touched last? It was touched last by the Seawolves. So Falcons will keep it down by 11. The Seawolves looking to go to 8-0 in conference play. This one, Biren had to jump to keep it in bounds, and Janiyah Alexander takes it away, as Biren didn't have control of it. Alexander pulls up and misses the shot. Hollingshead with the rebound, and Bishop with the block shot. And the Falcons back the other way. 9 minutes to play in the first half. Weatherspoon gets it to Rubino, and Rubino puts up the shot and draws the foul. The foul on Hollingshead, and it'll send Madison Rubino to the free throw line. The Seawolves have won their last 6, including 5 in conference play. They're undefeated in conference. They did take a loss in Hawaii to Hawaii Pacific right before Christmas break. Rubino knocks down the first free throw, misses the second one, and is taken away by Amelia Long. And the Seawolves go the other way with a 10-point lead. Weatherspoon guarding Long, and now they get it to Hollingshead. She goes around Bishop, couldn't get the shot to go. Reen is there, had it for a moment, and now it's taken away by the Falcons. And they will come back the other way, trailing by 10. Trying to stay in this game. As here is Bishop getting it to Rubino coming down the lane, and she misses the shot. Alexander came in for the rebound, and Rubino tied her up. It's going to be Seawolves ball on the alternating possession. And so they'll take it back up by 10. As Amelia Long walks it across the timeline. Seawolves' most recent win was over Western Washington at home on Saturday as Hollingshead draws the foul. The Seawolves rather got a couple of wins last week at home against Simon Fraser and Western Washington. And the Falcons lost 2 on the road to Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene. That Northwest Nazarene game, they lost it 88-84, which is a pretty high-scoring game, particularly in women's basketball. Hollingshead puts in the free throw, and it's 30-19. Hollingshead has 5 points. And this one off of Kearns, and the Seawolves right there to pounce on it, but Reen misses the lay-in, and Kearns with the rebound, and here come the Falcons back the other way. And Weatherspoon walked to the basketball. Looking for somewhere to go with it, and took too many steps. And that's why the Seawolves have mayhem on their jerseys. They really kind of increase the tempo, the pressure on their opponents. Kearns commits her 3rd foul, and she will presumably sit the rest of the first half with 3 fouls. Grace Turley checks in for her. And it'll be 2 shots coming up here for Amelia Long. She gets the first one to go. Amelia Long, second on the Seawolves in scoring at 13.1 points per game, and she's a 75% free throw shooter. Elena Mack leading the Seawolves in scoring at 13.7. Hollingshead has 12.8, and Evans with 10.8. 4 players in double figures for Anchorage. This is going to be a foul on Janiyah Alexander, and the Falcons will have possession. As Grace Turley moves it across midcourt. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Rubino, and Rubino walked to the basketball. Just shuffled that pivot foot. Kenzie Sirowich will check back in. She's out of Seymour, Connecticut. Ryan McCarthy recruits worldwide, not just nationwide. This one, a foul here on Leisure. And that'll be her second. But he's got players from the East Coast of the U.S., Janiyah Alexander out of Atlanta, Georgia. Here's Rubino with the block shot, and she comes the other way. Leaves it for Buren, and Buren misses the shot. Missed everything there. Didn't draw iron. Here's Evans back the other way. Pulls up from just inside the free throw line. Couldn't get the shot to go. And Leisure back the other way running the floor. And Leisure gets knocked down. And I believe they'll get long for the foul, and they will. 6:50 to go, second quarter, and coming back in is Jason Gamble. Mentioned Ashlyn Reen out of Rangiora, New Zealand, if I'm saying that correctly. Jazz Evans is from Shorewood, Illinois, and they have a couple of other players we haven't seen yet. One from Minneapolis, Minnesota, one from Lette, Germany, as there's Grace Leisure with a bucket, and the Falcons within 11. This Anchorage team has really been tough on the Falcons in recent years, particularly under Ryan McCarthy. Falcons did beat them in a GNAC tournament quarterfinal. Have to check on what year that was. It was recent. This one down the floor and knocked out of bounds. Anchorage also beat SPU in a GNAC tournament quarterfinal. Not that long ago. Here's Mack. Puts up the shot and puts it in. Elena Mack got it toward the bucket there, was from just outside the lane. But a floater. And she's got 4 points now, and the Seawolves get the steal. Couldn't get the shot to go. Saved in, but Rubino takes it away, and now Amelia Long takes it back the other way for the Seawolves. 34-21. Anchorage with the lead. Here's Hollingshead from the top of the key. She puts it in, and it's a 15-point game. As Buren will get it to Leisure, and now it's broken up again. This time Kinsey Sirowich comes up with the steal. That time, Long throws it out of bounds. It'll go back to the Falcons. She thought she had somebody cutting toward the bucket. It did not. Jazz Evans will come back in for Anchorage, and a couple of subs in for SPU. Lola Weatherspoon and Haley Ota back in. Amelia Bishop did not get the start, but she's getting a lot more minutes with Skylar Berry out, as this one is out of bounds. Back to the Seawolves, who lead it 36-21. Here's Evans across midcourt. And they call a foul on Ashlyn Reen there. And so the Falcons will take it back. That foul away from the ball. And the official explaining it to Ryan McCarthy. 36-21 as we get to a media timeout. 4:55 to play in the first half. And we'll be back in just a moment on the SPU web.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Falcons inbound, Leisure to Buren, and Falcons will have possession here down 15. Here's Leisure, and she puts it up and in. Quick jumper there on the pass from Buren, and Leisure was ready to shoot it. And the Falcons trail by 13 now. Here's Reen, and she's blocked, but the ball comes right to Sirowich. And the Seawolves keep possession. Here's Evans. Evans driving down the lane, puts it up, couldn't get it to go. Rebound Sirowich. Sirowich will get it to Gamble, and she had to just throw one up to beat the shot clock and was well off the mark. Falcons back the other way, down 13. Here's Ota, and now Bishop with the drop step into the lane, puts it up with the left hand, couldn't get it to go. Seawolves back the other way. Elena Mack will pull up and take a three and put it in. And it's a 16-point game. Seawolves in front. Here's Hunter Buren back the other way. As Sirowich switches onto her, and I think they're going to get Sirowich. No, they're going to get Evans for a foul here. That's the first on Evans. Amelia Long will come back in to get Evans. And Kearns is going to come back in with 3 fouls here for SPU. Really, kind of, you could look at it as you got nothing to lose. But still a lot of game left here as Buren misses on the first free throw and misses on the second one and gets her own rebound, but Gamble gets there as well, and it's a held ball. The possession arrow favoring the Falcons, though, so they'll keep it. 3:27 to go here in the first half. Bishop to Kearns, and now Weatherspoon. Ota tried to get it into Leisure, and it's knocked away, and a foul called. And this one is going to go against... That'll go against Amelia Long. She'll come back to the bench, and Jazz Evans right back in to the fray. Leisure a little bit long on the first free throw. And she'll get another one here. Second one up, and that one rims out. And so she goes 0 for 2 from the line. Seawolves by 16. Here's Evans. Kicks it out to Gamble. Gamble being guarded by Weatherspoon. Gets a screen, and Weatherspoon goes through it. But they get it now to Ashlyn Reen, and she puts in the shot. And it's an 18-point lead for Alaska Anchorage. Here's Kearns to Leisure, and now Bishop comes up short on the shot. Rebound collected by Sirowich. Seawolves trying to go up 20. Mack will get it to Reen at the top of the key, and she misses on the shot. The Seawolves end up sticking with it, though, and that is Sirowich with the offensive rebound and the putback, and it is a 20-point lead now for Alaska Anchorage, 43-23. And this one well off the mark from Leisure from the corner. We'll get a whistle on the rebound. That's going to go on Kenzie Sirowich. And subs in for both teams. Hollingshead and Alexander coming back in. Buren coming back in for SPU. And Amelia Bishop to the free throw line for 2 shots. First one rattles home for Bishop. She's a 62% free throw shooter. And looking for one more here, and gets both of them to go. Grace Turley and Madison Rubino back in for SPU. And the Seawolves with possession. Ticking down toward 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Evans to Alexander. And she'll drive and kick it back out. Elena Mack, a three on the way, and that one goes down for Mack. And she now has 10 points in the ball game. And the Seawolves are up by 21. Here's Kearns. Being guarded by Evans. Gets it across midcourt. Found Turley, but Turley was thrown off a little bit there. And couldn't get the shot up. And the Seawolves take it back the other way. Evans misses on the lay-in. Hollingshead collects the rebound. Blocked by Rubino. And now we get a whistle. And a foul. They're going to get Weatherspoon here. No, I'm sorry. That was Rubino. I saw a 0, but it was 30, not 10. And so Madison Rubino commits the foul. And Tori Hollingshead to the free throw line. Tori Hollingshead out of Orem, Utah. Utah Valley University is located there. They're in the same conference with Seattle University, a few miles from here. Hollingshead puts in the first free throw. She's got 8 points in the ball game. And she will get another, and she misses on the second one. Hollingshead, a 62% free throw shooter. Here's Kearns. Feeds it into the lane to Buren, and Mack steals it away. Elena Mack back the other way. We'll hand off to Alexander. Just over a minute to play in the second quarter. 22-point lead for Anchorage. Pass comes into Hollingshead, and Rubino with the defense there. And Hollingshead down on the floor. And let's see if they whistle this play dead. They will, after several seconds had gone off the clock, as Hollingshead is still not getting up. And all of her teammates go to check on her, and she is face down on the floor. One of the trainers, a couple of trainers for the Falcons coming out. And we've seen some injuries tonight in both games as first of all, for the Falcons, Julian Mora did something to his foot, ended up in a walking boot, and then Sean Evans for Anchorage had a pretty serious-looking knee injury and ended up on crutches. Hopefully this is not as serious of an injury here to Tori Hollingshead. But injuries happen in basketball, not as much as in football or some of the other full contact sports, but injuries can happen really in any sport. 22-point game here. The Falcons out shooting the Seawolves, but the Seawolves have had twice as many field goal attempts. The Seawolves are 18 out of 44 from the floor, and the Falcons are 10 out of 22. And the Seawolves 3 out of 6 from downtown. The Falcons 0 for 1. Both teams have gotten to the free throw line 10 times. The Seawolves have knocked down 8, and the Falcons have knocked down 5. And the Seawolves with the lead in rebounding, 24-16. Really, the big discrepancy with the turnovers, as the Falcons have turned it over 18 times already in this game, and the Seawolves have turned it over 6 times. Points off turnovers, kind of the inverse. The Seawolves have 18 points off turnovers. The Falcons have 6. As Hollingshead is still down on the floor, and And they are now getting her to her feet. And she is... she's favoring, I think it's the left. She's putting both feet on the floor, so it's kind of hard to tell from over here on the other end of the court. But I think it's the left leg there that she's favoring. At any rate, that is Seawolves really are. They've been kind of shorthanded. They don't have a real deep bench, and so that is a big loss for them. But I think they're going to be just fine in this game. But going forward, though, they hope to get Hollingshead back sooner than later. But don't know whether that's going to be a possibility. We will have to see what the diagnosis is. But the Seawolves will most likely go without Hollingshead for the rest of this game at least. And they are down by 22. A little bit of disturbance in the crowd here. Not sure what that was about. 46.2 left here in the second quarter. And Elena Mack will go to the free throw line to shoot free throws for Anchorage. Out of King Cove, Alaska, a junior. And Mack at the free throw line. And they may have called a... they call an intentional foul on Madison Rubino. And so 2 shots for Mack, and it's a 24-point game now. And that's kind of a call you don't see a lot, except for maybe late in the game when you're trying to stop a fast break. But Rubino called for the intentional foul. Not going to most likely make a big difference in this one as the Seawolves lead it by 24. Here's Mack taking a 3 from the top of the key. That one off the mark, and Weatherspoon, I believe, was the last to touch it. And she was. It'll stay with the Seawolves. 22.9 on the game clock. And the Seawolves with about a 2.5 second differential between shot and game clock. Mack will find Alexander. And now Alexander going to pull up, and that one rims out. Rubino with the rebound. And now Evans with the steal, and Evans will stop and pop from about 15 feet out. She'll put it in. Jazz Evans finishes the first half with 11 points, and the Seawolves finish the first half with 51. Falcons just 25. And so the Seawolves came out and did everything they wanted to do, really, in the first half. Forced a lot of turnovers. To be exact, they forced 20 turnovers. Falcons have turned the ball over 20 times already in the first 2 quarters. And it is a lopsided game here at halftime. See what Karen Byers can cook up in the locker room in the next few minutes. But this one definitely going all Seawolves so far to this point. 51-25 at halftime. We'll step aside for a while here on the webcast, about 9.5 minutes. And when we come back, we will recap the first half, and we will take a look around scores around the GNAC. We will be back in a bit 51-25 your score at halftime. Seawolves with the
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Bruin Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Falcons trail this one to the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves 51-25, and the Seawolves pretty much dominated from start to finish in the first half as they got off to a pretty good lead right away. They had I think it was 8-0 before the Falcons got on the board. It may have been more than that, but at any rate, it is a 26-point game at halftime. Falcons actually percentage-wise are outshooting the Seawolves 46% to 40%, but the Seawolves have taken more than double the amount of shots that the Falcons have taken. So just much more volume, despite the efficiency maybe going in favor of the Falcons. It's the Seawolves getting a lot more shots up. 19 out of 47 from the floor in the first half. Falcons 10 out of 22. And the Seawolves go 3 out of 7 from downtown. Falcons do not make a three. They only attempted one. Seawolves go 10 out of 12 at the free throw line. Falcons 5 out of 10. 25 rebounds for the Seawolves to 17 for SPU. And 13 of those 25 are on the offensive glass for Alaska Anchorage. And that is not going to that's why they have so many more shot attempts, is they keep getting offensive rebounds and second and third chances. Falcons have turned it over 20 times. The Seawolves just 6. And points off turnovers 22-6. the Seawolves lead in that category. Individually, Amelia Long with 6 steals in the first half. She had 8 points, 3 assists, and a rebound, and those 6 steals for Anchorage. 12 points for Elena Mack, 11 for Jazz Evans off the bench. She had 3 steals. She played 14 minutes, so I mentioned she came off the bench, but she had a lot of minutes in the first half. They also get 8 points and 9 rebounds from Tori Hollingshead, and she would have been on her way to a double-double, but she has gone off with an injury and didn't look like she's probably coming back to this one. We will see. The Falcons get 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 blocks from Amelia Bishop. Good stat line for her. 14 minutes off the bench. And as I mentioned, really with Skylar Berry not on the floor, Bishop is getting a lot of minutes. The Falcons get 6 from Hunter Buren, 2 rebounds and 3 assists for her. And they get a couple of steals, no points, but 2 steals and 2 rebounds and an assist from Lola Weatherspoon. Let's take a look around the GNAC and a couple of finals. Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene both pick up road wins to go to 6-2 in conference play. It's kind of a logjam there at second, kind of in the second place spot. Montana State Billings is playing Fairbanks, and that one may be over or getting close to it. Let's check. It is a final. Billings wins over Fairbanks by 20, 71-51. So all the other games in the GNAC are final. This is the last one here. Western Washington and Simon Fraser not playing tonight. They will tangle in Burnaby, British Columbia on Saturday evening. But Central Washington, Northwest Nazarene, and Montana State Billings all go to 6-2 in conference. And Billings was undefeated, but they lost twice last week. So Alaska Anchorage 7-0. They have a 2-game lead over two over the teams in second, and then of course a larger lead over the rest of the conference as they inbound to begin the third quarter. And they're going to call a foul on Amelia Long, as they said that she pushed off a little bit there. She'll come out. Jazz Evans will come in. That's kind of you see that with multiple coaches, but Ryan McCarthy seems like anytime somebody commits a foul, they go to the bench. There's a steal by Gamble on Buren, and Gamble with plenty of space to go to the bucket and lay it up and in. And she's got 4 points. And the Seawolves coming out with the same intensity, and that is really in their DNA. And Ryan McCarthy makes sure that they play hard, 40 minutes per ball game. As here is Hunter Buren being guarded by Gamble again. Gets it to Rubino, and Rubino finds Weatherspoon go to the bucket, and Weatherspoon lays it up and in. So the Seawolves kind of leave the back door open there on that possession, but they still lead by 26 points as Evans misses on the lay-in. And the Falcons back the other way as Leisure couldn't control it, but she's able to save it in to Weatherspoon. And now here's Kearns with the spin move, and she leaves it short. And the Seawolves back the other way with the ball. Evans had it knocked away, but she's able to control it. 26-point game here as Reen gets it into Sirowich, and Kinsey Sirowich lays it up and in. You typically will see as Kearns ends up battling Evans for the loose ball there, and Kearns commits the foul. And that's her fourth. So 8:23 to go here in the third quarter, and Lane Kern's already 4 fouls in the game. Grace Turley comes in for her. 55-27. But you'll see a lot of times where, I think I'm kind of going back a couple of thoughts ago here. A coach will sub out a player as soon as they pick up a foul, and that was real quick in the third quarter. Kearns has picked up 4 as this is Ashlyn Reen coming down the lane and giving the Seawolves a 30-point lead. No, my other thought that I was trying to complete there was that you typically see the same starting lineups in the game in the second half. As nice pass there from Turley to Buren, but she can't get the shot to go. And here come the Seawolves back the other way. Nice awareness there by Turley. It's knocked out of bounds by Sirowich, but it'll stay with the Falcons. But Hollingshead was in the starting lineup, and she is out for presumably the remainder of the game. She has not come back out on the bench yet. So she's getting some medical attention back in the locker room. And we may hopefully see her back out on the floor by the end of the game. This one knocked away. Sirowich comes away with it. And the Seawolves just keep pressing and keep coming up with steals and loose balls. Sirowich kicks it out to Mack. Mack tried to get it back to Sirowich, but Buren gets in front of that one, and now Leisure ends up with it. And now that one off the hands of Rubino, and they're going to call Alexander for a foul. As got a little push from behind, apparently. Amelia Bishop will come back in. And now for the first time for the Seawolves, we see Hedda Kune from Lette, Germany. And my German is not good, so I may not be pronouncing that quite right. Buren comes away with this one, and Kuna with the block. Buren still fighting for it, and draws the whistle. And this one is going to go on Jasa Gamble. Leisure takes the shot off the inbounds pass and misses it, and it's out of bounds. That one did not draw iron. It's back to the Seawolves, who lead by 30. Evans getting ready to check in for Anchorage, and Ota for SPU. And Grace Mertice will get up off the bench for SPU as well. And see some action here for the first time in the game. Here is Gamble with a long 2 on the way, and it's off the mark. And Buren out hustles everybody for the rebound. Nice move there, and couldn't get the shot to go. And it's been that kind of night for SPU. This will be a help ball, and the Falcons will maintain possession. Evans in, and Ota and Mertice for SPU. Mertice, a freshman out of Boise, Idaho. And she gets the ball on the inbounds pass, gets it to Ota. And now Weatherspoon with it. She'll kick it to Ota. Now Bishop inside. Bishop turns and draws the foul. Couldn't get the shot to go. But Amelia Bishop will be at the free throw line with 5:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Amelia Bishop in the first half, 2 out of 2 at the free throw line, gets another one here. And as we mentioned, 62% coming into the game. But now 4 for 4 perfect on the night so far for Amelia Bishop. She's got 10 points. As Kuna will come out. And I think that is another... I think she was the one that picked up the foul there. And that's Ryan McCarthy subbing really anyone out after they pick up a foul. I don't know that he does it 100% of the time, but the majority of the time at least, as maybe 100% of the time. Falcons with a rare offensive rebound. Here's Weatherspoon, and she will turn and put up the shot and put it up and in. And Lola Weatherspoon gets the Falcons back to within 26. She's got 4 points in the game. Here's Evans, and throws it to Ota. Trying to get it past Ota, but Ota had her hands up ready for that one. And here is Martise coming down the lane, and she couldn't get the shot to go. And we're going the other way. Foul called here on Amelia Bishop. And that will take us to our under 5 timeout in the third quarter. 4:56 to play in the third. And the Seawolves well out in front of the Falcons, 57. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast, 57-31. Seawolves with the lead, and they will have possession as well. As Ashlyn Reen will get it in to Jazz Evans. And the Seawolves putting on a clinic here at Royal Brougham tonight. And this may not be their best game that they've played, but there's plenty to beat the Falcons here. As Reen gets to the bucket, misses the shot, gets her own rebound, puts it back up and in. And Buren trips coming across midcourt, but she is able to maintain her balance. Tried to get it into Bishop, and we get a foul called underneath the basket. And that's going to go on Evans, the other 15. And so Bishop will go to the free throw line. And that is 5 team fouls on Alaska Anchorage. So the Falcons in the bonus, shooting 2 free throws on each foul the rest of the way. And Bishop knocks down 2 more free throws. Amelia Bishop playing well for SPU. Elena Mack gets inside and draws the foul. And this one's going on Bishop. No, I'm sorry. It's going on Buren. 14, not 15. Hunter Buren commits her first foul, which that's good for the Falcons because Amelia Bishop already had 3. And so she gets to remain on the floor. Elena Mack misses the free throw. Mack, 82% from the free throw line, just 14 out of 17 on the season coming in. And she gets 1 out of 2 here. She's got 13 points in the ball game. Weatherspoon across midcourt. And this one controlled by Bishop. surrounded by 3 defenders and gets through them and gets the shot up and draws a foul. Bishop with some size there at 6'3". That one goes on Ashlyn Reen. And Madison Rubino will come back in to get Lola Weatherspoon for SPU. Amelia Bishop to the free throw line again. And she has been there several times. That's the first time she's missed from the stripe tonight. And she was 6 out of 6 before that missed free throw. This one is good. And so Bishop is now 7 out of 8. But the Falcons trail by 26. 60-34 with 3:40 to go here in the third quarter. And here's Mack catching it inside, couldn't get it to go. And Alexander couldn't secure the rebound, and Buren comes away with it. And Buren just kind of, she may have had that one knocked away. Alexander finds Evans streaking down the floor, and she lays it up and in with the left hand. And the Seawolves lead it by 28. Ball comes into Rubino, and she'll get it back to Buren. Buren all the way over to the sideline, and she throws it away. And Weatherspoon will come back in, and Julia Levine will come in for SPU, and she'll come get Grace Mertiz. We've seen some flashes from both Mertiz and Levine. Levine had a 16-point game on the road not that long ago. And I want to say that one was that. I'm trying to remember now, actually. As that we'll get a timeout here with 2:50 to go here in the third. And we'll step aside, and I'll see if I can figure out which game that was that Levine went for 16 points. We'll be back. 2:50 to play, third quarter, 62-34, the score. The Seawolves in front.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Julia Levine just checked in a moment ago, and she went for 16 at Montana State Billings in a 40-point loss, but was named a Falcon of the Week that week. There's Evans, a 3 from the corner, and she puts it in, and the Seawolves go up by 31. 65-34. We get a whistle in the backcourt. And they're going to get Rubino for a foul. And give the ball back to the Seawolves. Pass comes into Ashlyn Reen. And she will get it to Alexander. Shot goes up from the corner from Mack, and she couldn't get it to go. Reen is there to collect the rebound, and she puts it in with the left hand. And Reen with 12 points now for Anchorage, and they continue to press in the backcourt. And that is just how they play. Falcons will take it back. They are going to drop this one. I think we can call it with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. I think Hunter Buren got away with a travel there. Haley Ota puts in a 3. And it's a 30-point game again. Under 2 minutes to play, third quarter. This one out of bounds. And the Seawolves will keep it with 1:46 to play here in the third. Pass comes into Janiyah Alexander at midcourt. And she will get it to Sirowich. Now Evans finds Reen at the free throw line. She spins to her left and puts it in and one. Nice move there from Ashlyn Reen. And that is the fourth foul on Madison Rubino is going to come out. Amelia Bishop will check back in. She's got 3. Lane Kearns has 4. And Falcons have some people in foul trouble because the Seawolves are pressing the issue. Reen misses on the free throw. And Levine with the rebound for SPU. Here's Ota taking a 3 from the left wing, and that one comes up short. Sirowich with the rebound. Seawolves back the other way. Here's Elena Mack. She'll get it to Ashlyn Reen. Reen drives around Bishop and misses the shot. And the rebound chased down in the corner. And that corner is pretty much out of my sight line here from where I'm sitting kind of above on the end of the court, above the Seawolves bench. Very difficult to see that opposite corner. Gamble will check in after the first free throw, I believe, here from Kinsey Sirowich. And Sirowich misses. And actually Gamble will, I think, come in for Sirowich here. Under a minute to play in the third. And Sirowich misses on both free throws, but Janiyah Alexander comes up with another offensive rebound for the Seawolves. Sirowich hands off to Evans. And now Evans gets it back to Sirowich, and Sirowich couldn't get it to Reen. Falcons take it away. Here's Weatherspoon driving and got the shot up, couldn't get it to go. Bishop gets the rebound and is fouled. There's a foul called on Kinsey Sirowich. That'll be her third. She'll come out, and Jason Gamble will check back in. Amelia Bishop, 7 out of 8 from the stripe tonight. And trying to put in a couple more here. She gets the first one to go. She's got 14 points in the game, and now 15. Bishop is 9 out of 10 at the line. Coming into this game, Amelia Bishop was only 18 out of 29 at the line for the whole season. And she shot 10 free throws here tonight. Seawolves are going to run some clock. There's a little bit of a discrepancy between the shot and game clock. Elena Mack going to take a 3, and that one is off the mark. And the rebound comes down. Gamble to Evans, a deep 3, and she cashes it in from about 30 feet out. Jazz Evans knocks it in, and it's that kind of night for Alaska Anchorage, as Jazz Evans got a good look at it, was a few steps out beyond the arc, and she splashes it down. Evans with 19 points for the Seawolves, 72-39. We'll be back in just a moment on the SP webcast.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Seawolves will have possession as we begin the fourth quarter here from Royal Brown Pavilion. And I need to just set the shot clock there, I believe. And I'll get that straightened out. Now we're ready for action here. Jazz Evans knocked in a three from a few feet out beyond the arc to end the third quarter. And she's got 19 points in the game. Gets it to her teammate Alexander. And now Gamble with it. Gets it to Mack. Back out to Evans. Evans drives down the lane, scoops it up, couldn't get it to go. Rebound to Reen, and she couldn't get it to go either. Falcons take the rebound the other way. But Weatherspoon takes it to the bucket and lays it up and in. And she's got 6 in the game. It was another offensive rebound for the Seawolves, and they have 17 offensive rebounds in this game. Falcons have work to do. Falcons are going to have Alaska Fairbanks in on Saturday, and both of those teams are going to be 0-8 in conference. So one of them is going to pick up their first conference win. There's Ashlyn Reen with the lay-in. She's got 16. And it's 74-41. As they get it through to Weatherspoon, she gets it out to Turley. Kearns is back on the floor with 4 fouls. She drives the lane, puts it up and in, and comes up gimpy. Kearns with 6 points, but hobbling back down the floor, and Elena Mack knocks in the 3 from the corner. And Elena Mack's got 16. 77-43. Here's Kearns, and Kearns is okay. But the Seawolves come up with another steal. Here's Alexander getting it to Mack in the corner for a 3, and splash. Elena Mack knocks down the 3. Ryan McCarthy takes a timeout with 7:59 to play in the game. And it's 80-43. And not sure what prompted McCarthy to call a timeout there with a 37-point lead, but he saw something that he wanted to address with his team. We'll step aside on the SPU webcast, and we'll be back in just a moment. 80-43 is your score. Back inside Royal Braun Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Falcons with possession, and Weatherspoon's able to hang on to it. She'll get it to Mertice, and now Bishop catches it underneath and puts it over the rim, and the Seawolves come back the other way with it. 37-point lead, the largest of the night for Alaska Anchorage. Here's Jaysa Gamble, turn around, and she leaves it short. And the Falcons will have possession here. .7:25 to go. But yes, the Seawolves are going to go to Billings and tangle with the Yellow Jackets on Saturday afternoon. And the Falcons will have the Fairbanks Nanoks here. And both of those teams 0-8 and will be 0-8 in conference once this one wraps up. As Fairbanks lost to Billings tonight. Here's Gamble, and she leaves that one short. Bishop with the rebound. And the Falcons back the other way. Here's Buren, and scoops it up and draws the foul. Hunter Buren has gone for over 25 in her last 3 games. And that's the 4th foul on Kenzie Sirowich. But the Seawolves have been able to hold Buren in check tonight, as she now stands at the free throw line with just 6 points. And that one pinballs out. Buren with 6 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 turnovers, 2 steals as well for the 5th-year player. And gets the 2nd free throw to go. And this one knocked away by Rubino. Seawolves will keep it with just under 6:30 to play in the game. Pass will come into Ashlyn Reen, and she will spin and put up the left-handed shot. Couldn't get it to go, and the Seawolves with another offensive rebound. Here's Janiyah Alexander, and she couldn't get that to go. Out of bounds to the Falcons. .6:11 to play. And they turn it right back over. As Anchorage takes it right back. 2 seconds came off the clock there. And the Seawolves will have it. Here is Amelia Long, and she misses on the shot. Long is on the floor with 4 fouls for Anchorage. Kearns was out there for SPU. Rubino misses on the shot. And Buren came away with it initially, but now Long comes back the other way for Anchorage. She'll use a screen. She'll pull up and shoot it and put it in from just inside the arc. And Amelia Long now with 10 points. 82-46. Buren struggling to get it out of backcourt. And Reen takes it away and tight ropes the sideline, but now the Falcons take it back. Long knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with SPU as Julia Levine will come back in for the Falcons. I don't know that they have anybody active. Maybe Phoenix Sharp. She's got the long sleeves on, but she's I think she's active. I think Skylar Berry is definitely out, and Peyton Bergevine is inactive as well. But they may get Phoenix Sharp a little bit of run. The Falcons might. down by 36 with under 5 minutes to play. As here is Long pulling up and putting in the shot. And she's got 12, 84 to 46. All Anchorage here tonight. Weatherspoon gets it to Rubino. And Alexander gets some of the ball and gets called for a foul as well. That'll be her third. As Gamble will come out, Evans back on. And that was, there's an example where somebody picked up a foul and Ryan McCarthy didn't sub them out immediately. Here's Rubino, too strong on the lay-in. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with SPU. 4:20 to go in the game. And Turley will inbound. And she'll get it right to Levine at the bucket. She lays it up and in. Good pass there from Turley. Levine coming right down the lane. And she has an easy bucket for her first two. Here's Amelia Long. Sirowich with it. And now Alexander drives and has it poked away. Seawolves will keep it. Alexander will check out and Elena Mack back in. Pass comes in and gets away from Sirowich. Weatherspoon comes up with it. Gets it up the floor to Turley. And now the Falcons lose it out of bounds. Let's see, though. It'll stay with the Falcons as Grace Leisure gets back in, and so does Phoenix Sharp for the first time tonight. Phoenix Sharp, freshman out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I think Jasa Gamble just came back on. Maybe she's been out there. Looked like I think the Seawolves made a substitution there. Mack has it blocked by Sharp, and Levine comes away with it. And Phoenix Sharp coming off the bench, getting a block shot there. 3:30 to play. Sharp will set a screen for Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon still double teamed out beyond the arc, though. And now here's Buren coming down the lane, and Buren scoops it up and in. And Hunter Buren's got 9. 84 to 50. Seawolves with the lead, and they're going to run some clock. Here's Reen, and she will put it up with the left hand. Couldn't get it to go, and Weatherspoon ends up with it for the Falcons. She'll come the other way with under 3 minutes to go in the game. Haliota will get it ready to check back in. Weatherspoon drives down the lane, puts it up and in off the glass. And she's got 10 points. 84-52. Amelia Long will get it to Reen. Reen drives and gets to the bucket and lays it up and in. Timeout called by Karen Byers as Grace Turley and Haliota will get into the game. Seawolves lead it 86-52. And are they calling a timeout here, or are they just allowing Karen Byers to sub in? Yeah, there's no timeout. They're just allowing Byers to get a couple of subs in, which was interesting there that they just blew the whistle. She didn't want a timeout. She just wanted to get a couple of subs in, which maybe in a closer game wouldn't happen that way. Here's Gamble with the steal, and now Turley gets back down the floor and takes it away from Gamble. And SPU still playing hard. And Julia Levine off the glass for 2. And it's a 32-point game. Anchorage, though, well on their way to a win, and really within the first couple of minutes of the game, it was pretty clear that Falcons were not going to be able to stay with the Seawolves tonight. Long gets to the bucket, lays it up and in. She's got 14. It's 88-54. And here's Turley driving and knocked away by Amelia Long. She comes up with another steal. She takes a three, and that one off the mark. Rebound to Ota. And Ota will bring it out of backcourt. She'll get it to Leisure. Leisure finds Levine, and it's knocked away. And Long ends up with it. Long ahead for Mack, and Mack with the easy lay-in. Anchorage up to 90 on the evening. 90-54, your score. Levine gets the bucket and commits the offensive foul. Elena Mack, I think, was in the restricted area. But it's really not going to make a difference here in a 36-point game. As I think they may have not gotten that call right. I think Mack was in the restricted area. Here's a three from Sirowich, and it's off the mark, and Levine gets the rebound. Don't have the benefit of replay to look at where her feet were. She was well under the basket there, it looked like. No matter, as the Falcons come down and miss another shot, the Seawolves get the rebound. And we're down to the final 20 seconds, and Amelia Long will just dribble the remainder of this one, and she'll actually pick up the ball. Clock running. She'll get it to Evans. Evans with a little smile on her face. She's not going to take the shot. 90-54, your final score. The Alaska Anchorage Seawolves come into Royal Brown Pavilion and deal the Seattle Pacific Falcons a major loss here. As Falcons going to have to just flush this one and get back at it on Saturday against Fairbanks. That will be, I would assume, a more competitive game. Both of those teams 0-8 in conference, and the Falcons with an opportunity to pick up their first win in conference. They've been looking for it for a while, and they will have an opportunity to get it on Saturday. They did not have an opportunity to get it here tonight. After the first couple of minutes of this game, it was clear that the Seawolves were going to run away with it at some point. But the Falcons go to 0-8 in conference. They go to 6-15 overall. The Seawolves go to 17-2, 8-0 in GNAC play. And let's break down some of the final stats, and we'll sign off here in a couple of minutes. Seawolves shoot 43%, Falcons 44%. Really, it's 43.4 and 43.5, so I rounded up the Falcons to 44%. But Seawolves go 47% from downtown, 7 out of 15. The Falcons just 1 out of 3 from downtown, and that really was not a part of their game tonight. The Seawolves, I think, had a little too much defensive pressure going in order for the Falcons to get comfortable enough in a lot of possessions to find outside shooters. Seawolves go 65%. Both teams go 65% at the free throw line. And the Seawolves just out-rebound the Falcons by 4, 40-36. But they led from wire to wire. Took the lead 4 seconds into the game. And didn't relinquish it. 34 turnovers committed by SPU. And you can't do that and have any chance to win a ball game. Anchorage commits 14 turnovers. Points off turnovers, 38-10. Anchorage with obviously the upper hand there. Amelia Long ends up with 14 points, 4 assists, and 8 steals. And they're the Seawolves led by Elena Mack with 21 points. 19 from Jazz Evans. She hit that long 3 at the end of the third quarter. She had 4 steals, 2 assists. Went 7 out of 14 from the floor. Mack went 7 out of 13. Ashlyn Reen, 8 out of 19, and she ends up with 18 points. And Sirowich only had 4 points, Kinsey Sirowich, but she had 11 rebounds. 4 steals for both Sirowich and Evans, and as I mentioned, along with 8. For the Falcons, they get a solid stat line out of Amelia Bishop, 15.7 rebounds, 3 blocked shots, and she went 9 out of 10 from the free throw line. She had a steal as well. And she came in off the bench and played 22 minutes. 10 points for Lola Weatherspoon, 4 rebounds and an assist, and 3 steals. And Hunter Beeren with 9 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists, but she turned it over 10 times. The Falcons also get 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist from Lane Kearns tonight. But this one, all Seawolves by a count of 90-54. And we kind of went around the GNAC already and looked at scores at halftime. Fairbanks did lose to Montana State Billings, and they will be in here on Saturday. Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene both picking up road wins. And so Anchorage now 8-0. Billings, Central Washington, and Northwest Nazarene all 6-2. And so they're all they're all 2 games, behind Anchorage, who is on top in the GNAC. Western Washington not far behind at 5-3. And they will be north of the border taking on Simon Fraser on Saturday evening, 5:15. The start time there. Start time here will be 2 o'clock Pacific time. Alaska Fairbanks will be here. We'll have that one for you on the SP webcast. Anchorage will now go to Billings, and that'll be a 4:15 p.m. Mountain Time start, which will be 2:15 Alaska time. And that'll be a good one there out in Billings. But don't know that anybody is really going to be able to beat Anchorage at this point. They're playing extremely well. They get it done. 90 points on the board, 90-54 the final. We will talk to you on Saturday afternoon from Royal Brougham Pavilion. Have a good night. We'll talk to you Saturday.